The chronicles speak of a night when the skies themselves seemed to fracture over the verdant expanse, the battlefield still smoldering with the echoes of clashing divine swords. Zhang Ruochen's blade lies wet with the last strike, and yet the tension between the mortal realm and the encroaching heavenly envoys has only thickened. In recap, Tales of Hurting Gods, Chapter 745, Chapter 746, whispers circulate of a forbidden technique unearthed in the ruins of the Celestial Library, one that could turn allies into shadows and enemies into dust. Every step forward now carries the weight of unseen eyes, and the winds themselves seem to caution that the next movement may unravel destinies long thought secure. The air hangs heavy with anticipation, and in the silence before the storm, one question burns brighter than any sword. Who will stand when the dust settles? The jade pool stretched endlessly, vast and boundless as a sea. To the ancient gods with colossal forms, it was but a mere pond, yet to mortal eyes, it was an ocean of jade, often called the Jade Sea. Within its waters, divine turtles bore hallowed mountains upon their shells, gliding with leisurely grace. Immense lotuses rose, their petals rivaling mountains, shimmering in countless hues of radiance. To those versed in divine arts, the jade pool did not appear grand. Instead, the practitioners found themselves diminished 1,000-fold in presence and power. Ahead, Celestial Venerable Hao halted, distant from the jade pool, small construction and the treasured island. Half-gods wandered the skies, some soaring, others shrouded within clouds, and some lurking beneath the waters. When Chinmu traversed the sea's surface, massive beasts swam swiftly beneath, their scales mirroring the ripples above. Celestial Venerable You, could it truly be you? Celestial Venerable Hao's gaze followed him, his voice heavy with astonishment. A sigh escaped him, solemnity shadowing his features. Strange though it may seem, I hope it is you. Yet I know it cannot be. You are dead. How can you breathe, alive before me? How could you persist under such circumstances? Bewilderment crossed his face. I destroyed your soul. How have you returned from death? Above, an ancient god with ears like mountains listened silently, shuddering at Hao's words before turning away. Beneath the jade pool, a one-eyed god stirred, his expression transforming. He burst from the earth, ascending to the skies. The two ancient gods met, their countenances strained with recognition. Heavenly Hearing and Earthly Sight General, emissaries of the Celestial Emperor, dispatched to oversee this matter. Shall we inform His Majesty? Heavenly Hearing queried. Earthly Sight's single eye narrowed. Do you court death? Reporting will end both our lives. Heavenly Hearing's ears twitched. Yet Celestial Venerable Yu's demise is grave. He was first among venerables, blessed by all gods. His passing could ignite calamity. Earthly Sight closed his eye, resolute. Even if we inform, His Majesty will act not, leaving chaos to swell. Then he would silence us. Our deaths would be assured. Heavenly Hearing faltered. What course remains? See no evil, hear no evil. Earthly Sight replied, blind and deaf to protect their lives. Heavenly Hearing bowed, conceding. Thus, Celestial Venerable Yu's life, and Celestial Venerable Mu's endeavors in his stead, may all be in vain, a lamentable loss, two venerables fallen. Earthly Sight exhaled, recalling how he witnessed Mu take Yu's corpse, transform, and impart his techniques. Awe and admiration had taken root then. Yet, when asked how to respond, both agreed to remain blind and deaf. Nothing transpired here. We know nothing, they affirmed, before vanishing into the ether. On the sea's surface, half-gods patrolled with vigilance. Celestial Venerable Hao, encircled by these protectors, observed. Celestial Venerable You, must you persist in conflict? He sighed, a smile touching his lips. You know my lineage. You cannot prevail. Endure your trials. One half-god, whiskers of a tiger and scales of a dragon, body half divine and half mortal, spoke coldly. Though suffering may pass, your flesh yet lives. You are a genius. Perceive the trend and understand. Another chided, recalling the slow-wending pavilion. When death embraced you there, did you not grasp your inability to defeat Hao? Who sealed the pavilion? Whose might prevented aid? A third sneered. Human strength, even crowned with celestial favor, cannot contend with half-gods. You shall fall here, your return denied. Hao's smile lingered. Celestial Venerable You. Chinmu interrupted, voice sharp. Should you not address me as brother or father? Hao laughed, incredulous. Brother? Father? Do you comprehend the lineage I bear? Boom! Chinmu advanced. The sea erupted. Hao's vision darkened, encircled by formidable half-gods, each bearing power surpassing even him in his youth. Yet Qinmu moved as a phantom, unseen and unstoppable. His fist shattered Hao's sight, nose bridge snapping with the first strike, ribs cracking in succession, kneecap colliding with bones. Force and precision combined, sending Hao flying. He bounced, defying the sea, yet still blinded. You dare! Half-gods roared, godly might surging. Yet before their retaliation, a sword's brilliance pierced the air. Qinmu bent, evading attacks, severing heads with divine precision. Seawater rose as a barrier, yet he advanced, teleportation arts flaring. Half-god heads vanished, seas reddened by divine blood, yet Qinmu remained unscathed. Hao, bloodied, fled, calling desperately, "Stop him!" A winged half-god descended like a shooting star, but was too slow. His headless body crashed. What divine art is this? He thought, helpless. Qinmu pressed onward, eyes fixed on Hao, as a white divine elephant surged, waves towering thrice 100 yards. Knife-light slash, the beast cleaved, Qinmu sprinting past its halves. Hao stared in disbelief. Fish and half-gods rose, divine energies unleashed, yet a black gate erupted, devouring half-gods' souls, casting them into Yudu. Qinmu's head emerged, tall upon the sea, a storm of swords swirling. Hao faltered. You are not celestial venerable you. No such arts exist in his name. Divine powers flared, yet Qinmu's mastery surpassed them all. Mere strikes meant death for the wielders. In this epoch, no skill rivaled his. Forward he advanced, Hao gritting teeth, fleeing toward a divine mountain. I know you, celestial venerable Mu, he roared. The turtle bearing the divine mountain regarded Qinmu with stern rebuke, speaking of Hao's lineage. Qinmu's hand swept, countless swords arcing beneath waves. The turtle sneered, angered. How dare a pearl rival the sun? Opening calamity. Swordlight blazed, slicing a dozen miles, piercing the turtle's brow and the island behind. The divine mountain sank. Qinmu's swords coalesced into a spinning sphere upon the water. Hao leapt to evade. Runes whirled, space trembled, and Hao's voice rang. Mother. Qinmu's pupils contracted, his hands thrust outward. Sword speed multiplied tenfold. All essence, chi, and spirit merged into a single, lethal strike. Celestial venerable Hao would fall before the might of the incomparably powerful descended upon him. The jade pool stretched before them like an endless sea. To the towering ancient gods, its waters were but a small pond, yet to mortal eyes, it was an expanse vast as the heavens themselves. This place, known as the Jade Sea, shimmered with an otherworldly glow. Within its depths, divine turtles bore hallowed mountains upon their shells, gliding with languid grace. Gigantic lotuses rose like mountain peaks, their myriad petals reflecting a spectrum of celestial colors, dazzling the eye with brilliance. For those who cultivated divine arts, the jade pool seemed immense, yet standing here, they felt themselves diminished 1,000-fold. Ahead, celestial venerable Hao halted. Far from the jade pool's small construction and the treasured island, half-gods moved around him, some flying on wind currents, others concealed in clouds, and some lurking beneath the waves. As Qinmu walked across the sea's surface, the shadows of colossal beasts slipped past beneath him, their scales blending seamlessly with the ripples. Celestial venerable you? Is it truly you? Celestial venerable Hao's voice trembled with disbelief. His gaze sharpened, laced with both hope and confusion. It seems impossible. Yet here you are, breathing, alive. I destroyed your soul. How can you return from death? Above, an ancient god with immense ears listened intently. At Hao's words, he shuddered and withdrew. Beneath the sea, a one-eyed god tunneled upward, breaking free into the sky. Their eyes met, a strange tension vibrating between them. These were none other than Heavenly Hearing and Earthly Sight General, dispatched by the Celestial Emperor to investigate. Shall we inform His Majesty? Heavenly Hearing asked, unease tinting his voice. Earthly Sight shook his lone eye. And invite our own deaths? No. The first celestial venerable's demise is no small matter, Heavenly Hearing persisted. You was blessed by all gods. His passing could unleash chaos. Earthly Sight's gaze narrowed. And if we report it? The Emperor will act, yes, but we will be silenced to protect the balance. Better to see no evil, hear no evil. Heavenly Hearing's ears twitched. Then what of celestial venerable you? His fate, and that of Mu who has taken his form, is theirs alone. Earthly Sight sighed. A noble sacrifice, 2 celestial venerables lost, yet their deeds shine in silence. After deliberation, the 2 ancient gods departed, leaving the jade pool's surface to half-gods patrolling the skies and waters. Around celestial venerable Hao, a protective circle formed. You insist on challenging fate? Hao's smile was tinged with sorrow. You know my strength. You cannot touch me. Endure, for suffering is all that remains. Celestial venerable you, retreat. A half-god with tiger whiskers and dragon scales intoned. Half human, half divine, he towered, disdain in every motion. Your body survived, genius though you are. Yet even as the blessed of gods, you cannot escape the currents that shaped your death. Another stepped forward, laughter on his lips. Remember the slow-winding pavilion. Magic sealed your path then, and now nothing has changed. Even genius mortals cannot best half-gods. Celestial venerable Hao's eyes softened. You, Qinmu, silent until now, interjected, voice calm yet cutting. Shouldn't you address me as brother or father? Hao laughed, dark and booming. Brother? Father? Do you know whose blood flows in your veins? Boom. Qinmu's step fractured the sea. Hao's vision darkened as the young cultivator moved like a phantom. Half-gods, chosen and trained, could not react in time. Qinmu's fist struck, first the nose, then ribs. 1, 2, 3, and his kneecap met each in unyielding rhythm. Explosions of force sent Hao hurtling backward, yet his eyes saw nothing. Pack. He rebounded upon the waves, twice, still blind to the phantom before him. You dare! Half-gods cried, fury boiling. The tiger-whiskered one roared, divine might flaring, but a sword light pierced his head before he could strike. Qinmu's blade became knife-light, crisscrossing, severing limbs and decapitating those who dared approach. Water erupted around him as countless half-gods lunged, yet none could touch him. Return of thousand palms. After images of Qinmu converged, surging outward with a martial explosion. Waves rose like mountains as the sea itself was rent apart. Wiping blood from his lips, Qinmu advanced upon Hao, who had crashed into the water, face bloodied, retreating, screaming for aid. A black gate spun open on the waves, sweeping half-gods' souls into Yudu. Red tides marked their destruction. Qinmu rose from the sea, taller and more imposing than before, eyes fixed on Hao. You are no celestial venerable you. His arts could never be so, Hao murmured, disbelief etched deep. Fire and beams of divine energy, feathers as blades, rained upon him, but Qinmu moved with flawless ease, countering before they could strike. In this age, no divine art held value against him. Flawless attacks would meet only death. Celestial venerable Hao fled to a divine mountain, shouting in terror, I know who you are! Celestial venerable Mu comes for my life! A turtle bore a divine mountain across the waves, solemnly warning, Celestial venerable you, even your might falters here. Do you understand the lineage of Hao's mother? Qinmu raised his hand, and a storm of swords erupted underwater, striking with lightning speed. The turtle's roar echoed, enraged, but before it could counter, Qinmu unleashed. Opening calamity, sword light blazed, stretching over 10 miles, splitting the turtle's brow and piercing the island itself. The divine mountain sank. Qinmu drew his swords into a spinning orb on the sea, closing in on Hao. The air trembled with arcane vibrations as Hao, desperate, cried out, Mother! Qinmu's pupils contracted. He thrust his hands forth, accelerating the sword orb tenfold, fusing all his magic, essence, and spirit into one unstoppable strike. Hao's doom was imminent. None could intervene before the inexorable justice of Qinmu's blade fell.